And we're live.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Superstar Saturday Hangout tonight. We are coming to you from various places across the globe, and tonight is going to be about video marketing. And I would like to introduce you to the one and only Steve the Biznutt Barnes.
Woohoo!
Wow, thanks,
Yeah.
guys. The Superstar Saturday Hangout, and I'm like wondering, oh, who's on the show tonight? I'm so excited for this one.
I know I can't
Apparently,
wait.
it's me.
So, so Steve, how was it for you in the beginning when you were doing videos? Because I mean, you're awesome now. I mean, you've got great personality and charisma on the screen. So I mean,
Yeah,
what it's like.
it was a lot like ripping off a Band-Aid, you know? I put it off for the longest time. I really did. I sat there and I looked at it knowing that this was probably one of the better ways to reach people, right? It's through video. We can all attest to that. Regardless of how great your copy is, your photos and everything, to be able to speak to people, look into the camera and reach out and really give people a part of your heart, mind, and soul, that's priceless. So I knew I really had to step up my game in the beginning and start doing that. And how I got into it it's a really bizarre, twisted, crazy story, but it was all about love and romance and how much a guy cares for his daughter. And that's kind of how I started video blogging, was really to leave a message behind for my daughter. And it was like a Band-Aid for me. It was really terrible, and I was just telling you guys before we went live how incredibly terrible I was. I look back, and I actually deleted a lot of my first YouTube videos, so you guys will never get to see them. They were that bad. I have them locked away on a cloud storage device that no one will ever figure out the password to. It's probably like Steve Barnes or something ridiculous, but they were bad, guys. They were really bad, and that's probably one of those important messages you're going to ever hear from me, is that we all start somewhere. You can't start at level 3 or 4 or 5. It doesn't happen. You have to be terrible in order to ever become good. And I was really bad. I was so bad. It's embarrassing. But you know what? I'll take 2 seconds and just tell you about how I did end up beginning all of this. And it was really, like I said, to leave a message behind for my daughter, so that as things go with me, with health and wellness, I was ready to pretty much depart the planet last year with cancer. So I'm still fighting it, but feeling better every single day. And before I did, punch out, as we say in the pilot industry, before I pulled the pin, I thought I would like to leave behind, some good messages to her, some good vibes. I didn't want her to grow up looking back on Facebook, for example, to find out what her dad was like. Oh, wow, that's my dad on Facebook. Because you really have to be cautious and careful, guys. If you're going to leave a legacy behind on something like Facebook, you got to work at it every single day to make sure you're leaving behind the right message, And that's something else that you should always be doing on video, is putting your best out there. Honestly, you have to think about the message that you want to get out. And remember, people are looking at you for that one snapshot instant of the whole day. Or maybe you only do one video a week or once a month. But that's, you've got to really put everything into that moment and not let it leave you. You can't sit back and put it out there and go, oh, I wish I would have done this. I could have tried a little bit harder. Could have put it out there every single time. Give it your best. Try really, really hard. So that's how I got started. And then, you know what? A couple people kind of looked at my YouTube videos and said, hey, that's kind of funny. You're a weird-looking guy. You move around a lot. Your hands can't stop. I got to sit on my hands sometimes. I'll do that right now. And they were like, you know what? You could probably somehow relate this to a marketing industry. And to be honest, I knew nothing about marketing. I could pretty much spell it, and that's about it. As a military pilot, I had no idea. I had just come home from the Gulf after 9.5 months. At home, fighting cancer all of a sudden. I had no idea, honestly, what marketing was about. So that's how I got into the whole thing. Was sort of, most people start with blogging, which is how I started, a couple of weeks of blogging. Then it became video blogging, so vlogging or whatever they call that, all the cool kids. And then it turned into kind of a lucrative industry, which we're all sharing together, which is ultra super cool and unique. And now I use what some people will call a ridiculous looking face and style to generate my income, get my message out there. That's what I'm doing. Cool.
Because there's a lot of crazy people just like you out there.
So,
there's a lot of crazy people just like you out there.
I know, and I watch them, and I learn from them, and that's another great tip is, if you see somebody that does something that you like, that you think you could do, or that you ever want to do, just watch them, take some time, learn what they're doing, and don't ever be shy. You know what, here's the big deal is, ask people, if like Dana was saying tonight, she's like, wow, Steve, I kind of watched you before, and you're really weird and awkward, and I thought I could be weird and awkward and cool like that. You've got that persona. You've got something unique, right? Which is another big thing. You have to be unique in this industry. Everybody does a talking head, right? We've all seen the talking head. We all do it every single day.
Yeah.
The talking head's been done. It's been done. Remove the head. Bring in the torso. You know, show your shoes. I always say that. Show your shoes. Walk away from the camera every once in a while. You know, take people on a journey. Take them on an epic adventure that they've never seen before, because we all do talking head, right? That's one of the first things I have right here. Say goodbye to the talking head. I got 8 really good tips, and that was the first one I want to talk about. Say goodbye to the talking head, because when you do it, or if you are going to do it like I do. I put my face right in the camera. Nobody else does that. I look out there, I'm looking for this twisty, weird, crooked neck guy eyeballing the camera, and they're like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? I have to keep watching, though. I have to keep watching this. And that's the trick, you know? Everybody has the 5x8 frame, and they stand nicely, and they polished with the lights, you know, and the teeth are showing and stuff. No way, man. Get weird, get bizarre, get in the camera, and tell people the story. Get animated,
Get
man.
outside.
That's magic.
It's good to go outside.
Stretch it. See the walls right here? I push them like this. That was kind of weird. So here's what's weird, guys. Number 2. Here's number 2 tip for me. I always say add the B-roll. So add the B-roll. People are like, what is that? I'm all about making mistakes. I really am. Not when I fly. Not when I fly. That would be like disaster. But really, guys, it's all about being natural. It's okay. I'm telling you, it is perfectly fine to make the mistakes. In the beginning, because I came from the pilot industry as a military pilot, we don't make mistakes. We can't afford to. People either die or you lose a lot of money. So we don't make mistakes. When I started filming, I couldn't stand making a mistake. That's it. I would just throw the camera away, put the phone down, stop recording, which is the worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do is stop recording. I spent hours, if not days, trying to create one video by piecing together 1,000 different pieces, okay? What I finally did one day is people were saying, wow, Steve, we really like your videos. You're kind of cool and crazy. And I'm like, look, you have no idea how much I screw up. To be honest, I'm going to tell a couple close friends only that I'm really bad at making videos. And they're like, no way, dude, I can't believe it. Show me some of your really worst stuff. I'm like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll come clean. I will actually add 30 seconds on the end of my video of all the screw-ups of making that one particular video. That became something that most people know me for. I have probably goes out there right now on YouTube, and the last 30 seconds is all screw-ups. It's all me making mistakes from that video, and my daughter loves them. People love them. I think I have, I'm going to just throw it out and guess, about 60,000 views now, about 600 subscribers, and they're all, I can see where they're watching. They all fast forward through what I'm talking about. They get to the screw-ups, and they're like, all right, there's that guy screwing up again. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's what people want to see. Yeah, I mean, whatever. So add the B-roll. Don't ever be shy. Go with the mistakes.
I don't ever edit mine. I make, I say stupid things and I mess up words and I just keep going. It's like, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no qualms with making mistakes anymore. And I can get into some other shooting things later, but I'll just jump ahead for a split second and tell you that I used to, like I said, stop, start, stop, and it was so painful. It was so awkward to try and find all the bits of video editing. You'll find 2 different views. Some of the pros out there will say you press record once, you record the whole darn thing no matter what you're doing, then you stop it at the end, then you go back. Just you got no time to stop and start, refocus, getting the lighting and all that, if that's what you really want to go for. Other people will say it's so hard to edit, but I think with today's software, if you're ever going to go the route of editing anything whatsoever, and I'll tell you briefly why I have to edit my videos, but I edit mine, okay? I do what are called jump shots, which means, in the middle of I'll start talking, and then all over the place. I'll just like that. It's super, and people laugh. They can't help it. They look at it and they'll go, that's funny. They'll keep coming back for more, which is what you want. The reason I do them initially, like I told you, when I first started doing the videos, and even still, going outside or wherever it was I would film, fighting cancer, it's just absolutely draining. I was drained. My wife was like, I can't believe you're trying to put out that much energy. It's not right. I would take face cloths, cold ice in a bag with me wherever I went so I could shoot videos outside and put that. And I would actually record. I would stop, lay down for a while on a log out in the woods. A lot of my videos were shot outside because it's hard to contain that much energy inside of four walls, let me tell you. So I would go outside and let it all out there. But I would literally lay down for a while. And in some of the videos, my original ones, you can see the sun moving across the sky back, because I'd be out there for hours trying to shoot these videos, right? And it'd be like all over the place. The sun's moving all over the sky. And so that's how I initially had to start editing my videos, with a lot of these, sort of what we call jump shots. But really, it was a necessity. I couldn't do one long piece like I am right now. I should be editing this probably, but this would have me laying down on the ground for a long time. So that's just something I didn't. That's good. One thing I did learn to do, though, that's very difficult, extremely difficult, and it's not something you should attempt early on in your if you're going to make any kind of videos like I do, where I tend to not just speak into the webcam and record a video. If I'm teaching something, I do try to get out on the road a little bit, either in the car, go for a walk in the woods, something to bring a little life into it. What I've learned to do recently is try to add a little bit of music. Sounds crazy, but there's so many systems out there that can help you do that. One, which is fantastic, which we all have already, is YouTube. YouTube does about 80% of this stuff for us already. So if you want to create a promotional bit, or if you want to talk for more than, say, 60 seconds in the camera and get a message across, sometimes it's really okay and beneficial to have a little bit of music in the background. And it's very simple to do that inside of a video editing program inside of YouTube. It's really simple. So that would be what I like to do, is try to bring a little bit of sound and music, to these things. And lately I've dove into trying to put some sound effects in them, and they add so much more. I've had people write me and say, I don't care what you're talking about, but how did you get that squishy, farty, weird, mushy sound on there? Or how did you, what song was that? I can't get it out of my head, I mean, people, I'm like, thanks, guys, thanks. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Forget making an income that can change your life. Let me show you how to make cricket sounds. Everybody wants cricket sound. Really, guys.
That's hilarious. I don't know where the inspiration comes from for you to do the things that you do, because it is just, you're so out there with all of your stuff, and we're not all like that in the beginning. We're not. I cannot begin to tell you how many times my daughter sat across from me and said, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And it's like, I would have to record and delete and record and delete and record, and I still do. If I don't like the way I sound or the way I'm looking, I'll delete that puppy in a minute and redo it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you. It's so hard, guys, to look at ourselves on a camera. Really, like, I don't expect people out there to start editing their own footage and stuff, but when I did, to sit there, it's hard enough listening to your own voice. But when you start watching yourself on camera, you start judging. You're like, oh, my collar was flipped. Oh, that jacket wasn't zipped up. I had a button undone. Oh, my nothing. The Velcro on my shoes was undone. This is not right. I don't actually wear shoes with Velcro anymore. But so yeah, no, I totally get it. It's something I still battle with every single day. You got to learn to let it go. You got to learn to be yourself, and you know what? People will appreciate you so much more for being real. The B-roll thing that I was talking about is just the tip of the iceberg. Really, it's about talking with people and really letting them inside your heart, your mind, your soul, really opening up, just being yourself. Totally go with it. And it's hard when you edit that. You don't want to edit out the mistakes, the reality of it all. You really just don't, but you have to. You kind of do, yes and no, you know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes you've probably cut out stuff that you didn't need to because you felt like it was a mistake, but really, if people see it, they really appreciate the less polished stuff, because when you do polished, they expect it. When I made my videos initially, I had some that were 10 to 12 minutes long, a lot of them, and people liked them, but I couldn't continue doing it anymore. I really couldn't. It was just wearing me down. It was pretty tough to get through that, but you just do whatever comes natural. I mean, if you want to delete some stuff, that's cool. I'm not going to tell anybody, but hey, I delete probably 80 to 85% of the stuff that you guys see that you don't see actually. So
yeah, I don't delete
so I was
anything. Very rarely I edit. Very rarely. I just turn the thing on. I go outside and I just talk, and I remember the first time I did a video without makeup, it was very hard, but I felt I needed to do that. I needed to show I'm not always perfect looking. Sometimes I look like this. So.
Yeah, I did one video. I think I did one. I could be wrong. Maybe two ever out of all of them where I didn't have gel in my hair. And my daughter was on top of me, and she's like, "Dad, people saw you didn't have your hair gelled. Can you delete that from YouTube? People at school are going to see that. My principal. I mean, really, really, no one's going to buy anything with you if you wear your hair's down." Thanks. Thanks.
Out of the mouth of babes.
She tries real hard. So here's another one. Number 4. We're about halfway through here. Here it is. I call this the open and close loops. So I always want to tell people what's coming. There's a format that I follow in 99% of all my videos, guys, where I come on board, right, and I initially tell them, of course, who I am. That's really important. Tell them who you are. So Stephen Barnes, a.k.a. the Biznutt, right? From where? From Biznutt or Biznutt, wherever.com, wherever you've been, wherever you're currently working. For me, it's biznutt.com. Right? So they'll go, oh, biznutt.com, cool, maybe I'll go check that out. Not right away, do it later on in the video. But so I always tell them who I am, where I'm working, so biznutt.com, your website or something like that. Then I want to tell them I do a specific thing in my video. I kind of break it up into 4 different parts. The first part is the intro, which I just told you about, and I tell them what's coming. So in today's video, guys, really excited, I want to let you know about this. Maybe it's 5 tips on how to make a cool video. Stick around after the intro and I'll show you what's going to happen. Now, I always put an intro in there because, again, initially there's a lot of editing going on in my videos, so I have a little software program. It's free, and if you guys want, I can give you the link later so that when people come to the websites, they can get this, but it's just a little thing on my iPhone. You can probably do it on the PC if you want, whatever, but it just puts a little bit of music, jingle, some moving words in the background. It only lasts for maybe 12 seconds for me, and just my name pops up, a little bit of graphics and music, and it's gone. But it's kind of cool. It kind of seems like, the guy knows what he's doing. Really, I don't. And then, so people expect right away what they're going to get out of this video, right? You got to really, you got to get them in the first 9 seconds. If you look at the majority of the videos out there, if you look at some analytics, people will just drop off instantly if you don't give them something, exceptionally appealing in those first 9 seconds. It's really, really important. Grab them with anything you can. Sometimes I'll literally put the camera on the ground and I will jump down and start doing push-up from the camera and talk to them. And they'll be like, what the heck? And they'll watch those extra 7 or 8 seconds, and that's where you can deliver what they're going to get out of the video. Okay, once I get that intro out of the way, of course, I'll go back, say, hey, welcome back, whatever. So like I talked about, today it's going to be all about how to make a video. I got 5 cool tips. Here's the first one. And then I go through those things. And the closing is going to be just like the beginning. I'm going to tell them who I am. Thanks for dialing in, guys. It's me, Steve Barnes, a.k.a. the Biznutt from thebiznut.com. And then I always want to give them a call to action. Some of the videos are just about me giving value, and I don't necessarily have anywhere I need to send them. So I'll say, if you like this video, if you thought it was cool and crazy, make sure you go down, click the link in the box below. Everybody says that, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that gives them a chance, and I think that's probably what's responsible for getting a lot of people to have, subscribed to my channel, is by telling them, asking them, if you enjoy this, if you feel this is crazy, if you'd like to get more information or see more of my material, just go to my YouTube channel. But there's be a link in the box below, because you can't say www.youtube.com/navalwebs, because what does that mean? Nobody wants to. No one's going to type that in. Right. So again, as I mentioned earlier, you can add a lot of really cool things to your videos if you're using YouTube. One of them inside is the annotations. So I might actually have the name of my website, biznutt.com, pop up on the screen, and I'll point to it. And you can actually have a little box go around it on the YouTube video, and people can click with their mouse on the screen, and they can instantly subscribe to your channel just like that. It's pretty cool. Oh, wow. There's a ton of advanced stuff, but that's just something I like to do. And then the last 2 parts of my videos is going to be, you remember at the beginning I did a little intro there? So it's going to be the same. It's going to be kind of an outro. I'm going to have a few seconds of music, and the last part for me is that B-roll. I always come back on. Everybody sticks around. They wait for that last little bit, and that's when I pop back on and I show all my mistakes, all my screw-ups, and apparently that's the best part for whatever reason. Isn't it weird? It's like, wow, go figure. Go figure. Maybe I'll put a call to action inside the mistakes. But yeah.
That's a pretty cool tip, because now the next time I watch one of your videos, I'm going to be listening for those 5 key items that you just named.
All of them. Hundreds of my videos. You watch. I guarantee right now, if you go to my YouTube channel, hundreds of them. You click on almost any one of those videos, there's got to be, I think I've made close to 300 videos. You'll see them all. I'll pop on. I'll have a couple, maybe 3 seconds of words. You'll see a little intro. There'll be the body. There'll be the call to action I talked about, that little video outro. It's the same as the first one. And then, of course, you know, the B-roll, the mistakes and stuff. You know, hundreds of videos, and I've done them all the same way. And I think I may have done one video in the beginning where it didn't have those mistakes. And again, my daughter, she got upset. She's like angry. She goes, I sat through that whole thing, Dad, eating cereal, and there was no outro. There was no mistakes, no B-roll, nothing. Not impressed at all. I want nothing to do with this anymore. I'm off YouTube.
So you got a little critic in your house, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's such a drama. She gets it from, I don't know where. I don't know where she gets this overacting from. I haven't got a clue. But I'm going to figure it out. And when I find the person responsible for all that pointing and the hand gesturing and all of that attitude, well, no.
Have you ever seen my videos? This is me. It's like...
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
I never thought about sitting on the hands, though, so thanks for that tip. I'll sit on my hands once in a while. I'm like, I'm not...
I do love
I'm going to start doing this. This is my new thing. Hey, what's up? Oh, I can do this. I know how to make a video. Woo!
See, it's pretty cool.
So,
Like, you just have to be yourself. I mean, you know, just being yourself. Yeah. That's the key. You know,
it's the coolest
when you look
thing.
in the camera, you're looking at the person.
That's right. It's so much easier, guys, when you literally are yourself. When you get to just have fun and be yourself. I've always been a jovial, you know, kind of energetic character. I'm the guy that shows up at somebody's house party and they're like, oh my gosh, Steve's here. Here we go. Everybody move all the china. You know, lock up the cabinets and stuff. You know, I like to cartwheel. I don't know. So
oh no, Steve! For me, I would say, oh, Steve's here! Yay!
Yeah, new guy doesn't know me. But that's so much easier for me, guys. When you do, I've been luckily I've been asked to do some guest speaking on stages at some big high ticket mastermind events in Phoenix last year, a couple of them, and it was pretty auspicious. And I got up there with a microphone, and they're like, okay, just calm down, just deliver your material, you know, and be majestic and stand tall and speak loud. And I was like, what? That's not me. I can't cartwheel. I can't do anything. Can I swing the microphone around a bit or whatever? And they wanted none of that. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to take some kind of a pay increase if you want me to speak and keep it all contained. I can't do that. That's not me. So I have more fun just being myself on the camera, and it's so much easier. You look forward to it every day. If you feel you have to be polished and pristine or something other than yourself on the camera, you'll never make a video. Or if you do, it'll feel like a chore. You will hate it. You won't deliver properly.
Right.
You just won't enjoy it. And what a terrible way to have a life-changing opportunity, to have a home business where you get to have fun and hang out with cool people like you every day and laugh. And people gravitate towards that. If you have to do it in a pristine environment and it's just all...
If you can't laugh and have fun, it's like in every one of my videos, I laugh, I do something stupid, I say a word, I misspeak, you know, I sometimes I cuss, but, you know, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm famous for that. I'm famous for throwing a few words out there like that, you know. Yep.
That's cool. That's what it's all about. It's all about... just keeping it real. People will know that you're not bull crapping, right? That you're not lying. You're not phony. If you really just show them you're a human being, people will be like, I like this. I want to work with this person. This is what I can learn from, you know?
And that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing you and having the people attracted to you that are like you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So for me, one other thing I do, we're moving on to like what, number 6 now. Number 6 for me has always been about storytelling. If you can tell a story, you know, in your video and relate it to something that people can go, oh, I know what he's talking, I've been there. Or, you know, for me sometimes it depends, but I mean, if you're going to dig deep in a video, if you have a message that you want to send to people, you can get to them on a real personal level and talk to people and say, look, I've been down that road of shame, of anger, of disgust, or happiness. I've been through a pain before. I've been through, you know, great achievements. I have achieved a milestone in my life. Have you ever And then people are like, well, have you ever done this? Have you ever remember that moment when you tell a story, remind people of stuff, paint a picture in their minds. You don't have to just use camera thinking that, okay, they're watching me. This is the story. The story still comes from here, right? And your heart. It still comes. You still have to give a message, a story. People keep thinking, they say, oh, Steve, it's easy. You just press record. You give them the value that they want to hear, and you press stop, and that's it. No, not at all, because they won't come back. People won't come back if you don't entertain them, and it's not just about being, energetic and bizarre, like I always say on camera. You still have to have a story. You have to have a message, but you have to put it into something that people will want to stick around and listen. You don't want to lose people after 60 seconds when you've got a 90-second video, because 9 times out of 10 to leave a lot of the important stuff till the end, and that's difficult. So I always say, tell them. I always say, include a promise, a benefit, and a guarantee in your video. I may have skipped that. I called it number 5, but benefits, guarantees. Tell them what they're going to get out of watching this video. Tell them, by the end of this thing, you're going to know those 5 things. I promised you. Give them a guarantee or a promise. I guarantee you, at the end of this, you're going to know 1 out of the 5 things you've never heard before. One of them is how to make baked Alaska. I don't know, and then they'll be like, well, I don't want to baked Alaska. Whatever it is, something. Give them something unexpected. Sneak it in there. And then it's about the power of storytelling. That was number 6. And then number 7 for me, I talked about it earlier, but it's your own personal editing style. For me, I call it jump cuts. Is the editing that I do that people kind of go, oh, that's funny, cool. I know that I'm going to see that in this video. If you remain consistent and have your own style of shooting a video, then people feel very comfortable when they watch you. If I was to shoot a video for the first time ever from front to back with no edits, no cuts, people would just go, wow, I didn't see that coming from this guy at all. After like a couple hundred videos, to suddenly see him just talk like a regular dude, so unbecoming. We don't want to watch this anymore.
I know, you're always up dancing or doing something. You're always out of your chair.
Yeah, it's the medication, but it works for me, right? It's beneficial.
Cool.
And then,
well, I love your videos. I love them.
Well, thank you. It's helping me recover in more ways than one. It's not just it's for me. This whole thing is therapy for me. This whole making videos for me is recovery. It is me getting better. It's not just me helping people, giving value, me learning something and reteaching it to you guys. It's making me feel like $1 million. I have a purpose. I may no longer be in a cockpit, flying a helicopter overseas, kicking butt, taking names, doing all the cool rock star things that I believe that I was born to do for so many years. Those opportunities aren't there anymore. So what I need to do is I need to find a new leadership position where I am still feeling that I'm doing a productive role, and that is putting my face on camera and teaching people the things that I really believe is going to help them help themselves. Whether it's time freedom, making money, joining an opportunity, having friends, just being around a community of people who care about them like we do. Like, I know you guys personally, on a personal level, I know that each one of you have a care for our team members that have yet to join, people out there who are looking for guidance, even if it's not on a monetary level, even if it's just on an inspirational level. That's what we get to do. We have the privilege of showing these people how to live a better life every single day, and that's a cool thing, right? That's awesome.
Totally. Even just teaching them mindset is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So many people out there need that. So many people don't even realize it. I came from 22 years in the military as an officer, thinking that I had all the leadership skills in the world. But when I left the military behind and I started, for example, online marketing with my own business, I had no idea that the leadership level on the civilian side of the house is completely different. I was not ready at all to bring my leadership skills as a military officer onto the street. It didn't work. I tried for months. It backfired. It totally backfired. We all deserve a completely different style of leadership. I can still, maintain a really, direct character. I can bring a lot of tactical precision, efforts to my day. I can work for 22 hours straight. That's how I'm made. But it's certainly not telling people to do and telling them that I'm going to demote you if you don't buy my product. That's it. You're off the team. I tried it. They quit. And I was like, hey, you're not allowed to quit. I'll put you in prison. I will prison you. Yeah, they still.
And that's one of the things too that we need to to share with people, is because it doesn't matter what kind of background they have. Just because what you do inside of a box, inside of a whole nother world, is when you come out and you put your best face forward so other people can see it. We have to learn to get past that. We have to learn how to grow into that. And one of the things for me was it was difficult to put my face on a camera and talk to somebody. It really was. So you have to learn. That's just one of the things that we do teach is how to, get over that mental hurdle. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it must be really hard for introverts. I've never been introverted, but it must be really hard. And I really, really give, the people that are out there in our video challenge kudos for, these people have never done videos before, and they're doing them every day, and they're really growing.
Well, I remember when I considered myself an introvert, but daggone, put a camera in front of my face and have to record, and then you're right, listening and watching yourself was a whole different thing. I mean, it's like, ew.
I remember when I started doing videos, and I've always been the super bubbly guy, similar, to Steve when I'm off camera. But when I'm on camera, I'm like, whoa, look out, woo, everyone's watching me, I gotta go, I gotta hide, and being in music production most of my life, I'm on stages, big stages with all sorts of stuff going on. But the minute you hand me an instrument and say play it, I'm like, wow, no, I can't even do it, But the first time I made a video, I was standing inside a laurel hedge in the backyard of somebody's house where nobody was home, and I was still afraid to make that video, but I made it anyways. And so it's really key for everybody to know, and just keep in mind, from a beginner, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody's like over on the other side taking, their checklist. Oh, that guy got an F on that video. Oh, that's horrible. It's true. The more you mess up, the more you're your personality, the more you're yourself, the more engagement you get within yourself. Your subconscious goes, wow, I can do this. This is cool. And it's not really so much about what everybody thinks. It's about how you are growing as a person. And I've seen so many people grow just from being totally afraid to look at themselves and talk to themselves and just blossom into amazing people. You don't have to be selling something. You don't have to be a part of a project or a company or something. You can just get on there to learn how to be better yourself. And that's a mindset thing that people can use these videos and making videos to grow as a person. And it's super fun, I've changed. Once some of our leaders gave me this challenge, challenge you to do it. I know you can do it. You can do this every day. I know you can. You're like, oh, every day, no way. I can't do this every day. You're nuts, So it's so key, you just get out there and you do it, and then for a long time I'm thinking, oh God, I'm not gonna make a video. They're gonna see my teeth.
Are you drinking Thunder right now, Martin?
Yeah, bring the thunder. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, woo.
You know what a video will never do to you? A video will never hurt you. There's no physical pain, associated with a video. People are like, I can't do it. Well, why not? Well, because, and they'll make a million excuses. Because it's embarrassing. Because whatever. Yeah, but you know what? You'll never get hurt. You'll never get hurt doing it. It's just unless you're doing cartwheels out in the forest, which I learned not to do at all. It was a porcupine. It was really rude. It was terrible. I bumped into a porcupine. But you can never be hurt. And the worst thing that could happen is somebody could just not watch it. They could just not watch it. If they have something negative to say, well, hey, you know what? I'll take traffic any day over no traffic, to be honest.
Exactly.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy about this. There's going to be people out there who watch you and see you do stuff, and they kind of wish that they could do it. And they're going to hate on you just a little bit sometimes and go, well, that was dumb. People say to me, Steve, you're way too energetic. I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. I can go back and look at the analytics and be like, well, that's funny because you watched 12 minutes of it, so at what point did you not like it? So, whatever. Whatever.
And that's the key. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, guess what, guys? Do you have any questions whatsoever about anything else geared towards the way I do video? Because, to be honest, it is a little bit technical the way I do things. It's a little bit different than the way most people do things, but I'm happy to
We'd like to get that link to your intro. That would be cool to add to the bottom of the video, that link to your intro.
Sure.
that you're using?
Yeah, let me pull this thing up on my iPad. I'll tell you right now before we go anywhere here. Let me find it.
Yeah, I'm asking for a lot of people that keep asking me, can you do all the editing on YouTube? Do you have to learn a whole bunch of different programs in order to do editing, cut and pasting and all that kind of stuff?
I have always used a free software called VideoPad. It's just super, super simple. I mean, there's people out there, guys, that have really expensive software editing program. Like I said, the only thing I ever do is called jump cuts. Okay, I do no fades, I do no transitions, none of that, which you can all do in YouTube. I don't do any of that stuff. All I ever do is I take a piece of my video, for example, let's say it's this long, okay? I will literally put a break in the middle of when I say whatever. I will put a break in the middle, okay? I'll take that and I will just take that little piece and I will remove it. Then I'll take those two pieces and I'll slide them together. That is.
You can do that in Movie Maker too. Movie Maker for me seems to work a little bit better than YouTube. YouTube always hangs up, whereas Movie Maker's like on my computer. It's not online based, and most PCs have some type of Movie Maker.
Okay. So the one, here it is, guys. The one I use is called IntroMate. IntroMate. Yeah. That's the one here. Let me get a little, see if I can zoom up. I can't really zoom up on this. I don't know if, I'll hold this up. I don't know if you can see it. Try to not get a reflection on there somehow. Where is it? Can't really see it, can you?
No.
Okay, no problem.
IntroMate, and it's an app?
Yeah, it looks like that little black one there with the, you can't really see it.
Okay.
Anyway, it looks
yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
looks
there
like
it is.
that.
Okay.
IntroMate. So you can make a bunch of different videos, and you can, some of them you can put a little bit of your own personal video in, or your some pictures. It's got music. You can put text on the screen, which I always recommend putting your website if you can. Right? Why not put your website there? So every time somebody watches your video, like I said, after for me 60,000 views, that's 60,000 times people have seen my website, biznutt.com, pop up probably 2 or 3 times in the video, the intro, the outro. Then, like I said, I always try and put it up on the screen somewhere, and I always have fun by pointing to it.
Yeah, annotations are fun.
Do something. Put it on a piece of paper and hold it up. Do something. Wear a T-shirt. Write it on. Well, you can't write it on your chest, but you can write it on your arm. With some mascara or something.
I did one video where I didn't even talk the whole time. I just held up things like they do, the kids.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did. That was fun. I try to do different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I have gone so far as to try and be able to produce some of the most unique stuff on the planet. No, like I guarantee you. I don't know if you guys anybody seen my ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? If you've seen it, I'm the only guy on the planet that doesn't own an ice bucket. So what I do have is ingenuity, and I have a toilet. So I actually filled up my toilet full of ice.
You guys have to watch it. You guys have to go watch it. I just saw it the other day.
Yeah, I put my camera in a Ziploc bag. I have a bunch of old iPhones, right? I got some old ones. I put them in Ziploc bags, and I put them in the toilet. And I actually, put my face, my whole head into the toilet, and that was my ice bucket challenge. I just wanted to go that extra mile. So that's one of my favorites.
All right, thank you. This has been wonderful. We appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks, guys. That's fun. Tons of fun.
Anything further than the ice bucket challenge, and it might have to have a different rating on this video. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody, we're going to have the link to Steve's YouTube down below, so be sure and subscribe to his videos because you will learn a lot from him, and you will laugh your ass off.
Yes, you will. Yes.
Thanks, guys. That was tons of fun.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thank you so much. I look forward to having you back again.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
Okay, have a good night.
All right. Thanks again.
Okay, everybody, we'll see you next week, and we'll have an exciting guest then, too.
Woohoo! Stay tuned.
Peace out.
All right, have a good night.
Don't ever give up on your dreams.